Sensitize females on cervical cancer. Shops in Ekoka market sealed for flouting state sanitation law. Federal government and European Union launch financial package to boost global gateway. Ecuador elects 35-year-old as president. Before the news in details, there is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Nonye Nwokoye. Now, the chairman of Anambra State House of Assembly Committee on Information and Culture, Honorable Chuks Azotani, has called on religious and community leaders to intensify efforts in sensitizing women and young children across the state about cervical cancer to save lives. Honorable Azotani made the call while commenting on the resolution passed by the Anambra State House of Assembly urging Governor Chukwuma Soludo to direct the Commissioner for Health to sensitize the Anambra through various media, community and religious leaders on the need to vaccinate their girl child against cervical cancer at the various primary health centers in the state. Our House of Assembly correspondent Chukwemeka Modelem now reports.
Journalists, after plenary, Honorable Azotani explained that the essence of the resolution is to ensure that there is all-round sensitization program about the deadly disease in all the communities in Anambra State. The legislator, who regretted that about 80,000 girls die of cervical cancer in Africa every year, noted that it is very important for the Ministry of Health to sensitize Anambra to encourage their girl child to go and take the human papilloma virus vaccination for their own benefit. Honorable Azotani disclosed that early vaccination against cervical cancer gives women and young girls zero chances of getting the disease and commended the wife of Anambra State Governor, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, for offering many women free cervical screening and treatment. The legislator appealed to well-to-do individuals in the state to join hands with her, even as he urged parents to train their girl child properly to prevent them from indulging in smoking, which he noted is one of the causes of the deadly disease.
The importance of the vaccination cannot be overemphasized. It's so important that we need to educate our girl child of the importance. And most importantly, why this thing was so apt, the emotion was so apt, coming at this point, is for us to sensitize the awareness, not just for the girl child. Even at 45, you can actually take the vaccination, so to speak. So it's very, very important that we educate our girl child to be able to ensure that they've all gone to take the vaccination. So if you take it on time, you may have the zero chances of getting cervical cancer. So, and if you take it before 45 years, so to speak, it reduces the rate and, of course, the cost implication while treating it in the hospital, and so many other advantages of taking this vaccination.
In Oka, Chukwemeka Modelem, ABS News.
And the Managing Director, Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra, Ocha Brigade, Comrade Celestine Anere, has sealed off shops in Ekoka market for non-compliance to Anambra State sanitation law. Comrade Anere also issued evacuation notices to traders who illegally constructed their shops on drainages. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike filed this report.
Top Brigade boss, during an inspection tour of the market, revealed that the agency 2 months ago wrote to the market leadership to expedite actions in the congested old drainage system around the market and explained that inability to carry out the function led to the sealing off of the shops where drainages that passed through their shops were blocked. The move, according to the Ocha Brigade commandant, is to put an end to flooding on Zik Avenue axis of the old Enugu-Onitsha Expressway and went further to make it clear that all shops whose drainage systems are blocked will not be open until they are properly cleared. on the practice of loading and offloading of passengers and goods and services on major roads. Comrade Anere warned that operatives of the agency will commence confiscating vehicles who flout traffic rules.
One with the soul, when the rains come, they will go into the drainages and go their way. You won't see anyone going into the market. You won't see anyone on the road. They are there, they overflow because the drainages are filled to the brim with sand. You can see yourself.
Commending the doggedness of the agency, a resident of Oka, Mr. Osita Obi, frowned at citizens who share the opinion that it is the responsibility of government to silt drainages and called for attitudinal change as a way to assist the government in the development of the state.
I expect other government agencies to behave like that. You see, Dubai, Taiwan, or clean environment cannot only be achieved by the government, the citizens will be.
Responding, the chairman of St. Mary's Traders, Mr. Obinna Umar, appreciated the state government for reawakening their consciousness towards the environment, especially the drainage system, and used the opportunity to call the attention of the state government to the opening of the tunnel at the Wall Timber for proper channeling to ensure that their hard work on the silt and the drainage is not a total waste.
Flood na side within 10 minutes flood waste. So I'm about to challenge now your government the people so that I will get everything challenge.
The agency rounded up the inspection visit of drainage system with discouraging road trading from Ekoka to Oye Amobia.
The 2023 Alumni Homecoming and Award presentation of the Faculty of Management Sciences, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Nau Oka, has come and gone with a charge on universities to establish the database of their graduates. The event held at the ASSU NAU Secretariat Hall attracted the la creme of the society, including the academia, politicians, captains of industry, traditional rulers, and the university community. Our correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo has the details of that report.
During a courtesy call on the Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Charles Isimone, by the special guests and principal officers of the Faculty of Management Sciences, Professor Isimone underscored the importance of active and functional alumni association in all-round development of any institution.
It's a thing of joy, it's a thing of conviviality. And I'm particularly excited because this one thing I'm preaching, that faculties, departments should look for the way and galvanize the alumni to come to the aid of the faculty or the university, as the case may be.
Speaking shortly after receiving an award of excellence on innovative representation and service to humanity, the member representing Oka North and South Federal Constituency, Professor Obi Orobu, while defining the event as a homecoming, noted that she has the progress, growth, and development of the faculty, including its staff and students, as a priority, having served in the department at different capacities.
Many of us are here. In fact, there's no reason why the faculty should be looking for funds when you have people like me and you seated here. Lecturers' offices must be commissioned by the grace of God before I leave office in 2027. We'll have the platform, we'll have the opportunity, we'll have the contacts to do a whole lot here in the university.
In his welcome address, Professor Okoye, who described alumni as a pride of every institution, said they gathered not just to relive cherished memories, but to honor the unwavering bond that the alumni share with the beloved institution.
To proceed with the ceremony today, we'll be presenting awards that recognize exceptional contributions and achievements, a heartfelt homage to the sincere spirit of your work, perseverance and excellence that you embody. These awards, those symbolic are testament to the indomitable spirit and tenacity that Faculty of Management Sciences endeavor to instill in its students.
Delivering a paper titled Leveraging the Global Power of Alumni Association, the chairman, editorial board, Daily Times Group of Newspapers, and IMDIT Past Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, Dr. Uchenwora, charged universities to always enrich their students' experience to avoid apathy on graduation.
We've identified weak leadership, which is why the alumni are not totally fully in support of what they're doing. Now the problem of poor resource base to run their associations. Alumni groups don't have the database of their members.
The event climaxed with a presentation of awards to 53 distinguished personalities, endowment, and medical tests.
Pharmacists are greatly worried that the lack of control of drug distribution in Nigeria, which they say is in a chaotic state, has continued to increase medicine insecurity in Nigeria. This worry and preferring solutions to the problem, especially in Anambra State, formed the major focus of discussions, lectures, speeches, and research paper presentations at the 30th Annual Scientific Conference of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, PSN, Anambra State Branch. Our correspondent David Okwasale has the rest of the story.
Challenges and the implications of medicine insecurity in a chaotic drug distribution system, the role of pharmacists. Speakers at the conference highlighted the indices of medicine insecurity to include scarcity and unavailability of essential and life-saving medications, widespread circulation of counterfeit, fake, adulterated and unwholesome medicines, and the prevalence of open drug markets, which are all at embarrassing levels in the country. They say that the situation will remain unabated until policymakers, industry stakeholders, and other health professionals recognize and include pharmacists in the scheme of things to manage the challenges faced in the medication system in Nigeria.
This committee developed the National Drug Distribution Guidelines to provide guidance for effective drug distribution system in Nigeria. According to the guideline, the states are to establish the state drug distribution centers, which will be supervised by a standing committee, while the private sector is to establish mega drug distribution centers to be cited in the 6 geopolitical zones.
If you cannot produce something, you are at risk of people outside. And if you look at what exchange rate is doing now, you see the drugs, you go to buy Kefrazone today, imported 300 and tomorrow is going to be 600. But if we are able to start producing those things, and we have all it takes, we are actually moving on that in Anambra State to ensure production.
Any day, anytime, cannot and can never be fruit. It is the pharmacist who prepares the drug that knows what it can do and how it can be used. Transported and stored. Pharmacist is the king and father of all healthcare providers.
In their separate speeches, the national president of PSN, Professor Cyril Usifu, and the chairman on the occasion, pharmacist Olumide Akintayo, underscored the critical roles of pharmacists in addressing the state of the health sector in the country and emphasized that they must consciously and subconsciously support the implementation of policies developed to address unguarded and uncontrolled drug distribution. The conference, which featured presentation of research papers in the pharmacy profession and related fields, and innovations in new drugs and drug manufacturing by participating manufacturing companies, attracted the presence of the Commissioners for Environment, Dr. Felix Odimegwu, Housing, Honorable Polly Onyeka, Culture, Tourism and Entertainment, Comrade Don Onyenji, Head of Service, Barrister Theodore Wewe, and the Special Advisor to Governor Soludo on Medicals and Pharmaceuticals, Dr. Godwin Nnadozie. Others were Igwe Pharmacist Alex Onido, the Vice Chancellor Nnamdi Azikiwe University Oka, Professor Charles Esimone, and representatives of federal and state agencies such as the Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control NAFDAC, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency NDLEA, and Anambra State Health Insurance Agency ASHA. In Oka, I am David Okwasi reporting for ABS News.
The federal government of Nigeria and the European Union have launched a financial package for a total of over 900 million euros as a central part of the EU-Nigeria cooperation to advance the country's green, resilient, digital, inclusive transition under government priorities and global gateway. The package jointly developed between the EU and Nigeria will drive new programs through Global Gateway, such as climate, smart agriculture, sustainable energy, access to health services and education to contribute to policy improvement of the teaching profession and the capacity building of teachers. ABS Abuja Bureau Chief Princess Sekwi Ajide has the details.
The European Commissioner for International Partnerships, Jetta Oplenian, signed for EU, while the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning of Nigeria, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, signed for Nigeria. At the project signing ceremony, Commissioner Oplenian said the agreement will further strengthen both countries' partnership, building on their long-standing cooperation and in the best spirit of shared responsibility, commitment, and accountability. The EU Commissioner said the EU will continue to invest in their common future and priorities of security, democracy, and prosperity for all, and through the package of loans and grants that will benefit the Nigerian businesses, farmers, youth, and the society as a whole.
As part of the Team Europe, this major package forms a central part of the EU-Nigeria cooperation priorities to advance the country's green, resilient, digital inclusive transition on the Global Gateway.
The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, on his part, said the EU-Nigeria relations is one of the most vibrant development partnerships in terms of volume, thematic interventions, modalities, and geographical spread in deployment of resources.
We support particularly the private entrepreneurship, private investment are consistent with the 8-point agenda.
The Vice President of the European Investment Bank, EIB, Ambrose Fayol, said the package will also contribute to the building access in the Nigerian social protection safety net, support border management and reintegration of returnees, support disarmament, demobilization and reintegration of Boko Haram combatants in the Northeast region, and as well as support improving the criminal justice system, access to justice, and the fight against corruption. In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide reporting.
On the foreign scene, center-right candidate Daniel Noboa, the 35-year-old son of a banana tycoon, will become Ecuador's next president following an election driven by concerns over rising violence and a worsening security situation in the Latin American nation. More than 10 million people have voted in the presidential election, and data from the National Electoral Council of Ecuador, CNA, shows Noboa obtained 52.3% of the votes. The CNA said his main political rival, leftist candidate and first-round frontrunner Luisa Gonzalez, obtained 47.7% of the votes. Noboa was a lawmaker before outgoing President Guillermo Lasso dissolved the legislature and called for early elections. Now on sports news, Manchester United are expected to pay further tribute to Sir Bobby Charlton ahead of tonight's Champions League match at Old Trafford. The United Trinity statue outside the ground was awash with tributes to Charlton as supporters laid flowers and scarves, with many leaving deeply personal thoughts for one of the club's most famous sons following his death, aged 86. A book of condolence was opened at the International Suite inside the stadium, while current boss Erik ten Hag and members of the United squad added their messages to Carrington. It is expected that players will wear black armbands with red to be laid on the Old Trafford pitch and a minute silence observed ahead of kickoff. Our condolences. And that's just about it on the news, but remember you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page. Follow us on Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube at ABS Television Oka. on Twitter at ABS Radio TV, and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And the main news again, State House of Assembly has called on religious leaders to sensitize females on cervical cancer. Shops in Ekoka Market have been sealed for flouting state sanitation law. Federal government and European Union have launched financial package to boost digital economy. Ecuador has elected 35-year-old as president. And now here is the special message once again. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra state economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's continue to give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that does it on the news. We thank you so much for watching. My name is Nonye Mokoye. Good morning and have a great day.